We can swipe down. We've seen this. This is a standard implementation of one of the versions of Android 5.1. You have the vibration or loudness on here. You have the ability to flip the wrist to turn it on to show you the time. Airport mode. All these things are the same. Our brightness levels that you can set high, medium. Hey, low. Look, it's really low. Whoops, I just turned on Bluetooth. Let's turn that back up to mid brightness. And bright was really bright. Super bright. Good outdoor bright. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, right? And then over here you got the pedometer that shows you your steps. So you've got 3 pages above the main page. The main page to the left shows you your notifications, and to the right you've got all of your apps and then your music player. And finally, if you swipe down, you get the weather. Okay, I'm moving quick because you've seen all this before. Contacts is the same. Phone is the same. You go in there and you just basically get your dialer. This is dependent on having a SIM card in here. So when you try to make a call, it's going to say no SIM or SIM error. You're not going to be able to tether this watch to your phone, like true of all of the Android standalone watches. You need a SIM in order to do the phone calling. So you got the contacts, the phones, your messaging works the same way. Settings we'll get back to. You have remote capture. Now, this does work with tethering to your phone, and you can remotely capture pictures from your phone using the tethering app. All right? You've got a browser built into this if you so choose, with a few little thumbnail pages. We often recommend third-party app like Chrome if you don't mind the heavy data overhead and burnout on your battery, or Apis browser is a good one. You've got a calendar, which is very basic. Just shows you the calendar like that. You've got your clock, which is where you can set your alarms, and that's pretty standard. What are our buttons doing? That one, that one took us to our health. I was looking for one to take me back one level. There we go, it's the top one. We've got a gallery for showing any pictures that you've got. Right now we don't have any. You've got a music player to play music that is on the actual watch itself, all right? You've got the remote control music that when you're synced to your phone will let you play music from your phone that's on your phone through your watch. So we're getting a little bit better with tethering. We still haven't got that telephone call tethering down, but you're getting a few of the other things you normally see in tethering. You've got a sound recorder, which gives us a chance to test the quality of the speaker and microphone in here. This is a recording test of the brand new Lemfo Y3 smartwatch phone. And we can save that. And we can go to the list. Ooh, somebody recorded ahead of this. This is like a demo model, by the way. It's not even out on the market for sure yet. So I think they played with this one and sent it to me. And no, we're not going to listen to the other one. I'm going to do that in private. Here we go. Ooh, it's really soft. Okay. Once more. All right. Well, we've heard louder. There's a file manager, which shows you that we've got about 1.09 gigabytes used of an available 1.10, which looks like it's almost all used up, but I think you got about 2 gigabytes. That's what's used. That's what's available. You go in here and you've got all of the stuff that you have access to. And top one takes us back again. Then Find Me. This is the anti-loss thing, so that if you're tethered to your phone and you separate too far away, it'll vibrate to let you know you left your phone behind. Another one of those tethering features we usually see on the tethering watches. Health is into this category with the heart rate monitor and the pedometer, which looks like that's what we get when we press here. Interesting, huh? All right, let's check them out. The heart rate has the heart rate monitor on the back, and it's live and working right now, so we'll hold on and test it. This looks like the standard implementation. You can see the icon bouncing back and forth. This is the more recent version of the heart rate calculator. At least the icon process looks like the newer version of it. while it's doing that, you notice the bezel has got markings around the side in kind of subdued. It's not too out there, but nonetheless, it's got some presence, which is a little different than what we've seen on the LEM5. There's some previous readings that were in here, and I'm clocking in at about 72, 73 right now, which is probably about right. Back it up, go into pedometer. You've got your steps, and you can actually do an interval pedometer here, where you start it and it'll time your steps. Okay, that's built into it. And that's the health section. Then you have your overall weather from AccuWeather. There you go. And a voice search, which uses Google, so we have to be connected through Google, and that's probably your OK, and you know the rest of the word, Google. I break that up so I don't trigger your Android phone or something. That happens sometimes when I'm listening to reviews. Play Store is our standard, regular Google Play Store, which again you're going to need to log into, get your Google account all set up for that. And it's wanting me to do that. The Maps app should give us the Google Maps, and of course we got to be logged in for that. Reminder is a sedentary reminder that's built in here now. This is starting to show up on some of these Android watches. It wasn't there before. You can set the times for any particular type of reminder, and it will repeat time and remind you at those times to take that kind of a break. And then installed apps that come not with the OS. Well, they kind of do. They're installed when you do the firmware updates to this, or when it first got installed, but they're not really part of the watch in that you can actually delete them, are Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. So those are third-party apps, but they've been pre-installed here actually on the watch. But if you don't use any of them, you can delete them. That should free up a little extra memory for you to put additional apps of your choice on the watch. Okay, and that is the run-through of the apps. So now let's go back into settings. We haven't checked that yet. Standard settings. Here's our sound area, and this is where we have the volumes that we can play with. You hear that? Here's your alarm volume. You're up all the way, and your ring volume. And of course, you have a whole bunch of different watch ringtones that you could choose. The sound is coming out of here. Pretty decent, not super loud, but I can hear it. And then default notification sounds, you have a whole bunch of those too. Okay. And of course you can have it vibrate if you want to as well. Display has your basic stuff, your brightness level slider control if you want to fine tune the brightness over those three options that we had before. We have a sleep after as little as 15 seconds and as much as 30 minutes. And you have your font size that you can change normal, small, or large as required. You've got your app list style, which is round or list. So when I go back this way from there, let's go back. It was just a little slow. Okay, now all of our apps are in a round size with the time actually in the middle. That's kind of nice if you like that type of display. Settings. And was that it? Yeah. We were in the app list style. Okay. I'm going to switch back to the linear one because that's the one I use typically. Your connection lets you do Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Notice this. Some people ask this. You can indeed run this as a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's going to eat up your battery pretty fast, but if you have a SIM card in it and you have it connected, you can make this a Wi-Fi hotspot for your tablet or computer or something like that. Airplane mode, GPS, and you can restrict app background running if you want to save on your battery. And mobile assistant is the barcode you want to scan for the app that you can tether with this particular watch. Your gestures for screen raising to activate the time or disable or turn on your pedometer service. again, for a form of power savings. You go in here and you've got your overall power graph, and it shows you what is being used most by the watch. So you can see what your power-hungry apps are. Your language and inputs, you have all these different languages available to you, which is quite a good collection. We are in English. You have the current keyboard. You can add third-party keyboards. All we have is the Watch Me keyboard on this particular one. Google Voice Typing, of course, is on here, and your speech with a voice input and text-to-speech output functions that you can set. And you can import different voices if you'd like it to speak to you in a different voice. Standard Android kind of stuff. And that is your connection, mobile assistant, gesture, power serving language, date and time. You can do the standard stuff, automatic date and time if you want, automatic time zones, set your date and time. All of those functions are available. You can reset the equipment and typically back up the data to your Google services once you've logged into Google. And then, of course, uninstall any applications. Those are the 3 that came with it. You can pop them off if you want to, right there. And then About the Watch, which shows you the status. It's a Model Y3 running Android 5.1. These are the magic numbers that it shipped with. Saturday, November the 19th is the kernel version from last year, 2016. And your build number. And, of course, you just tap on Wireless Update. You could check to see if there's a wireless update waiting for you. And I haven't been able to get a connect on this, so either it's not quite set up right or this is temporary firmware that it shipped with and will probably need to be flashed somewhere down the road in order to activate the over-the-air update process. But it's there, which is good to see. And that is the settings. So our buttonology, the center button brings this up. It twirls, but it doesn't do anything. It brings you right back to home. And when you press and hold it, you get the options of powering off, rebooting, power savings, and recent tasks. You click on that, and your recent tasks come up that you can slide through to delete, which is good because you want to clear those periodically, right? All the way down. Wow, we looked at a lot of them, didn't we? Oh, my goodness. Okay, there we go. We had that, and this full thing is the one where you press it, and see it makes a little square. It says small. For third-party apps, it'll let you run your third-party app in a tiny little square instead of the full screen. So a lot of these apps have menu items that you can't get to in the corner if it's running full screen. So you come in here, you set that, you come right back out of it, you're in a square, you touch your menu items, you get all your settings, come back in here, make it full again, and you're good to go. So that's pretty cool. And again, we have this information here, whether you have a SIM card in it. I forget what that one is. Bluetooth, it looks like, if you're connected. The battery percentage left with a little graph, your date and time, and all of this other good stuff that we already talked about. So those are the features of the watch. By way of summary, it is one of the first ones, if not the first one, with a completely full display, edge to edge. And it's different than the LEM5 in that main regard. This looks a little bit brighter, but I think this one is not full brightness either. So war of the brightness, there you go. Although now it starts to get washed out a little bit. The bezels are different. This has got that clean brushed steel look. This has got some sporty look to it. The bands are different, but the layout and the design of the watch is very similar. Now, looking from the side, it looks like the Y3 is a bit thicker. It could be because it's got this plastic backing on it. This one's got a metal back. As you look at the back, too, you see that you can get the SIM card in and out of the Y3 as simple as just one screwdriver to take this off and put your SIM card in. So if you're one of those kind of folks that likes to move your SIM card from your phone to your watch when you're out without your phone and then take it out and put it back in your phone, this would be a better choice overall, because here you got to take all 4 screws out just to get inside to do the SIM card. All right. This uses a charging cable. I haven't even shown you the rest of the box. This uses a special charging dock. Again, the speaker's on the bottom, and on this one it's right there. So they're very similar outward appearance with little nuances of differences, but inside they're completely different in how they run the Android 5.1. For example, the LEM5 watch faces are installed. You can put in a lot of third-party apps, and you can hit that plus sign and put in a whole bunch of other apps that are on a server. And I think still have all of the different watch faces from our designer workshop from the last time in here. These install similar to the Finow and the number 1 watches running Android 4.4 or 5.1 on the LEM5. This uses the system that's notoriously called the KW88 because it came out on that platform first. And these are APKs, little applications that you can run to create and install the watch faces. Now, what you're looking at are the stock watch faces that come with this one, but it is possible, just like you can on the KW88 and the LF16 from Limfo, you can install additional watch faces that are freely available on the internet. But it's a different process. So there's subtle differences between the LEM5 and this new Limfo Y3 that are worth considering before you purchase. Price comparison-wise, I have no clue. I'm still waiting on pricing on this one. Hopefully in the show notes down below, you'll have information that you can use to pick up this watch. We'll have at least a couple, I think, buying opportunities for you. So be sure to check there. And again, these are the stock watch faces that come with it. So what else is in the box? Well, we'll get there. This is kind of new. This is different. It's a bright blue when you're looking at it without through the camera. Now there, you can really see that whole edge-to-edge effect, can't you? This is solid. I mean, it's just right up to the edge. No black border all the way around it. That is a first in this watch technology. Here's another one. They are called the YS series. So I'm not sure what the YS stands for, but these are what they've decided to ship with, and that's it. So any new ones would appear there if we installed those from third-party app. All right. Let's check a look at the box. We have a couple of things. We've got the box with a picture of a screwdriver on it. What do you think's in there? The screwdriver you need to carry in your pocket to change your SIM card, no doubt. Okay, it looks like it's a standard tiny Phillips, like a watch screwdriver. So we've got that. We have your token. Oh, there's the little thing we took off the screen. We have your charging cable, of course, and this uses the, it's not a dock, it's the little cord with the pins and the magnets, and it just magnetically slaps on when you get it the right way and holds in place that way. Good solid connection. So you get that, and you have a Y3 manual. That's it for the box. A Y3 manual in Chinese and English, and we of course like to show you the manual. So let's take a look at what it talks about in the manual. Basic introduction, what the buttons do, and the magnetic charger. Your basic operations. We've covered most of this in the video, but there might be something special. A lot of folks like to read the manual, so here you go. And once again, this is a new watch just coming out, so it may take a while to get in the supply chain, but check in the show notes down below. I'll keep it updated for you as we get the opportunity for you to purchase it from one of our partners. I'll definitely have the links, any discount coupons they give us, and a price for you listed there, so you can get the best deal on the Limfo Y3. So check this out. When you raise your arm, the time shows up like that. We've seen that before. That's typical of the KW88 and the LF16. And if you do it and you touch it, it'll fade into the watch face that you've chosen. That's kind of sweet. And the last thing to show you, the last button to hit, is the power off. It asks you if you want to shut it down, and you do. You get a little tone, a little vibration, a little dance, and it's gone. I promised you at the beginning I would show you the different versions because we have this watch that we've used in the review. It came in from Limfo originally, directly. And we also have this production unit that's come in from GearBest. And it's slightly different if you look at it. We have different bands. One's black and one's brown. And the bezels are different. You see how this bezel has some dashes across and then some numbers. And this one's a little bit different in that it's got a tachometer type of a bezel to it. And then there's a rose gold version too, which you can see pictures of, but I don't have that one here to show you live. But I do have both of these, and they are exquisite. This is a very, very nice watch. And